Okay, looks like we're streaming.
Thousands of years ago, Sigurd I built incredible engines of war, and with them forged an empire. The emperor married and sired many children. He even had a love child with mysterious Aurora, an ancient dragon in a woman's guise. Once united, peace was declared in Rivellon, and bloodshed soon forgotten. But Sigurd's realm of peace was shattered when his own sons and daughters rose against him. War returned with a vengeance, and annihilation reached new heights. Desperate to safeguard Sigurd's legacy, the wizard Maxos sought the help of the one child that never betrayed his father, Sigurd and Aurora's son, the half-dragon prince. He would be the one to save the empire from ruin, and to aid him in his quest, Maxos delivered unto him the imperial command ship known as the Raven. This is the story of Maxos and the Dragon. This is the story of the Dragon Commander.
Okay, this seems to be going a little bit better. It doesn't seem to be glitching as much. I'm getting a little bit of visual tearing on my side, my screen, but it looks like the screen is working fine on the stream. So with any luck, I won't have the same problem. I don't know why. Ever since I updated Windows and my drivers and all of that, everything just seems to be fucking up. And it probably doesn't help that my computer is on its last legs.
Welcome, noble dragon, to the Raven. This wonder of engineering, this miracle wrought in magic that has a living between.
Okay. I'm just going to skip a lot of this at the moment, because if you want, you can watch the last 5 minutes of the previous stream that failed. Let me go to...
Greetings, sire, sprung from kings. I am Grumio, son of Gromio, an imp of good and honest standing. Your technician, shall I be, if it pleases you. Your engineer and architect. I hope you'll like my jetpack. It is my gift to you, to keep without recompense, for gladly shall I remain aboard this wondrous ship, to tinker and toy, hammer and hew. She is special, this vessel, filled with wonders undiscovered. The wizard, he feels it too. The taste, the tingle of mystery. Oh, to unlock its secrets. Well, my lord, when your good father and Maxos first started to conquer the world with their fancy machines, we imps were mesmerized. None of us cared if we were being drafted into a strange warlord's empire, for if those were the weapons he wielded, we were all ready to welcome him with open arms. By golly, were we ever. Steam-driven giants on land, on sea, even in air. Oh, the ecstasy! Such wonders, such ingenuity, and jeepers, what cannons! Ever since then, some 30 years hence, us imps have dedicated our existence to the advancement of these delightful machines. Now, before those blessed days arrived, people regarded us as eccentric gnomes taken to experimenting with flame, gas, and liquid like so many charlatan alchemists. But, ha! Those days are over. We are scientists now, famed and fortuitous. The truth be told, though, we've never quite given up our love for all things combustible. Rather on the contrary. Not that you mind, do you, my lord? We'll forge like not even a dwarf can, my lord.
Okay. Anti-air turrets, I don't need that. Ironclad, armors, mortar turrets. Do I have the Grenade instead. Can't get them yet. Let's go to dragon upgrades. 15 of that. See, your research points and your normal points are kind of joined. Can't get any of them. Sword permanently increases my speed. That's what I need. And inspire. Okay. We talked to the lizard last time, so we won't bother with that. Let's just go to the world map and see what we got here. Okay, let's build. How much money have I got? And can I afford? Yep, I can afford a hunter. Beauty. Okay. Okay, now I have got it on easy because this game is extremely, and I mean extremely, unforgiving. It will kick your ass if you're not paying 100% attention. And well, let's face it, I don't pay full attention, and that bloody wobble on my screen is going to give me such a pain in the ass. But the bridge, have I got any cards? I've got couple unit cards. Revenue increase revenue of a country by 200%. I think I actually am gonna. What is my revenue? For no, I think I won't bother with that yet. Oh, the arsehole, he sabotaged me. Oh, well, it don't matter, ain't no thing. Oh, that prick. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's to battle. There we go. Yeah, I'll do the whole dragon flying around thing. Okay, I've got that as a buff. If I remember, it was T dragon skill. Okay, let's start battle. See, the good thing is, if you don't, once you get later on in the game, you don't really have to do the battles unless you really want to, because you've got so many battles going on, and you can only be the dragon in one battle, which is. It makes sense, the dragon can't teleport across the freaking world. He has to fight in one battle per turn. And then you can add a general, but for some reason you can only have one general. Even though by the end you have like 4 generals. But, okay.
Anything for the Empire. We'll crush them one leg at a time.
Okay.
The grave be their destiny. We'll crush them one leg at a time.
Okay.
Construction in progress.
I'll just build it.
Construction underway, Commander.
Okay. Now, right here, you got that's your units. Not your countdown to how long until you can actually summon your dragon.
Forge completed. Anti-ground turret completed.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
I don't
yes.
think they can attack. Can they attack?
My magic is charged.
Reading attack 19. Good target. Aerial, ground units.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I think I can summon my dragon now. Oh, it's R, not T. And here we go, dragon. Good thing about when you're on easy mode, your dragon isn't quite as useless as it should be. Oh, who's shooting at me? Burn, forest, burn! Whoa, I teleported. Ah. Yeah, the game is running a little bit glitchy, and I don't know why. Might as well take this out first because this is what's making the troops. But like I said, this is on easy, so at the beginning of the game is relatively easy. Once it gets going, it becomes super difficult. Okay, so I'm taking on Carthen. Okay. And now we got a news report. Dead Emperor's bastard son gets wizard's backing. Then over here you got your political thing, how well the races and stuff are liking you. Particularly your...
Great dragon,
we'll see.
Glorious warlord. Once more you return from the battlefield red with the blood of slain adversaries. And let me tell you, these victories of yours have not gone by unnoticed. In fact, to my great satisfaction, another pair of dauntless generals has joined our company. 4 military masterminds are now on board, more than enough to start a campaign of conquest on a truly grand scale. No doubt you're as anxious to meet them as they are to meet you. So why don't you go to the throne room, where I've instructed them to await your arrival? Heavens no. You have the military firmly on your side. But civil emissaries too are bound to join our cause in due time. Indeed, I expect you'll be declared Emperor before long. Yes, you heard me correctly. Emperor. It is inevitable. People have heard of you. The dragon. Their one hope of deliverance from war, oppression, and death. Soon hope will turn into confidence, and when ambassadors of the civilized races flock to the Raven, your political career will commence.
I'm going to be the Australian government. Freedom is off the table, completely.
You yourself will of course represent all humans, but the dwarves, elves, lizards, imps, and undead will want their say as well, and more. Still, let us worry about politics later. Today, it is your generals that count.
Okay, to the throne room.
My Lord Dragon, allow me to present your team of generals. Edmund you already know, but I now have the pleasure of introducing you to Her Highness Lady Catherine, Queen of Westbridge, and Scarlet, not noble of birth, but the more so of heart. We 4 have pledged we will stand by you in your conquest as the rightful heir to Revlon's throne. Bastard no longer, you shall be known as Commander, until the day comes that you shall be king. All hail the dragon.
Hail.
Ugh, I hate this bitch. Evil she is.
Hail.
Yeah, she's alright, but she's a bit of a degenerate.
Yes, well, hail.
God bless the lizard man. He's my favourite character in this entire game.
How's it hanging, Commander? I'm Scarlet, and you're a dragon, they tell me. Always wanted to ride one of those, though I bet you're a little harder to handle than a horse. All part of the fun, though, I reckon, so give me a shout when I can take you for a spin. Treat me mean, I'll scratch your eyes out. Treat me well, and I'll purr like a kitten. Your choice, Commander.
I would say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Commander. But as it stands, I must approach you with a bit of reserve. True, to know we have a Dragon Knight for a leader is a great relief. For such a grand creature inspires bravado in the many hearts that will have to be won so that we may overthrow the spreading dark. But then again, you are the offspring, the male offspring to boot, of a sorry line prone to decadence and corruption. The very line, in fact, that is responsible for the downfall of the Empire in the first place. Forgive me then if I do wonder, will this commander pass muster? Earn his wings? Earn his crown? Because they call us females the fairer sex. But in truth, we are also more cunning, resilient, refined, and downright intelligent. Give an empire a queen, I say, and it will be ruled. Give it a king, and it will become an afterthought. For like any man, he is content when both his belly and his bed are filled with a prize piece of tender flesh. No. Men are simple creatures, Commander, and should therefore be in charge of simple things only.
Yeah, you sound like a feminist.
It's going to take some getting used to, you know, to call you Commander. Verily, I was rather opposed to the notion. But Maxos in his infinite wisdom insisted we up the level of common courtesy toward you. Commoner would have done. Commander, though, it shall be. As much as it is in the eagle's nature to look down upon the world in hunt of lesser creatures, it is my genius that makes me soar high above all others. Lesser creatures indeed. At the lone top do I reside, but I would have it no other way. Those who do not understand, all but everyone, calls me a loner, thinking the word to be a pejorative. But it is on the contrary glorious to live in sweet isolation when all around you non-lizards, that is to say, inferiors, skitter and crawl like vermin. I am a solitudinarian, for my nature makes me so. And when I do have contact with those I loathe, inevitably I talk down to them as it is impossible to communicate on a level of equality when there is none to be had.
Yes, Commander? Seemed hardly proper to call you by that particular pet name on what was somewhat of an official occasion. But don't worry, I may still slip up once or twice, even though my respect for you is in fact growing. You've got a knack for bloody brutal battle, and faint heart never won fair victory.
To the bar! Ah, never mind. Okay, I've got some research points. I think I can only get a max of 20 at the moment, so let's get these things. Okay, transport, that'd be good. Charming. Ah, that's right, add points. Okay, let's see how my empire's doing. Looking good. That glitch hasn't happened. Occasionally when you check your stats, the glitches over here, that just shows like little crosses, like it doesn't register. It's weird, but shit happens. To the world map. Okay. Okay, let's build. I can't build anything. I need more gold. Okay, let's see. Move the hunters there. And move those troopers there. There we go. I do need to build a transport soon to try and get this little land and this little land. But for the moment, I'm just going to have to... I've got... Move that to there. Oh, I do have a transport. Move him to there. Got no cargo. Okay, let's end turn. I like this whole this game of risk kind of thing that happens in this. Okay, to battle. Be dragon. I can beat that with the dragon power. Do I need it? No. Fucking having a bit of trouble moving my arms. Doesn't matter. This is running reasonably quick. Zoom out.
You found me, did you? On their trail. Picking up their scent. You found me, did you?
Okay. Now I send my units off to capture a bunch of stuff. I can go across and have a look at the enemies. They only got one net unit moving out, but that's because that's on easy. They don't move out for a short time. They need the CPU, well, not the CPU, the AI seems to sit around for a little bit just so that you can actually get a head start, which I don't mind because the RTS elements of this are pretty lacking. I won't lie, they're lacking a lot. Okay.
On their trail.
See each. Oh, wait, where should you get? Okay. Yep.
Without a trace. They won't even see me coming.
Okay. And summon dragon. Charge! Fly like a dragon. Burn them all. To ashes. Eat acid. Defenses. More defenses you can get rid of, the more you can rip apart their bloody their resources. Fuck, gonna die. Whoa! Okay.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Summon dragon. Charge! See, later on in the game, your dragon becomes fairly useless, so it's always good to have dragon fun at the start. Oh wait, something's been built there. So you can actually fly a lot faster, but you get a burnout of your skill. And the sad thing is that even if you get established a good base, the next round it just doesn't work. And looks like my chat is fucked up again. Oh well.
Commander. No doubt you've had an eventful and successful day so far. But don't rest on your laurels just yet. For I'm here to inform you the counselors have arrived. The ambassadors of the races whom you'll have to duel and deal with in the political arena. Such is both the prerogative and the burden of an emperor-to-be. You may think your first duty is that of conquest, to bring the war to as swift an end as possible. But I'm afraid there is much more to being a monarch than military matters alone. As a commander, as an emperor, you'll have to constantly endeavor to find that delicate balance between your roles as strategist and statesman, for the one necessarily influences the other. Now, you may consider it strange that some will worry about the price of bread, and others will gripe about taxes. When all around us, machines of war threaten the existence of the very realm. But if you give it a moment's further thought, this is only logical. We may find ourselves trapped amid a conflict of gargantuan proportions. But that does not mean the average man worries most about feeding his family, about the little things that make for a happy life. And when you have been given an empire, Commander, you have to be responsible for every matter, every obstacle, every creature, great and small. This may seem daunting, but I have never, and never will doubt for even an instant, that you of all people will rise to the occasion. Your counselors await you in the throne room, Commander. Godspeed.
Okay, let's check the engineering bay. What research? Okay, that is gold. Anti-air turret, shaman. Faster troopers is always good. That looks good. Okay. Here we go.
Ah! Shush, everyone, shush! Here comes the long-awaited commander. The dragon that would deliver us from vile usurpers. The one deserving heir to Rivellon's throne. Let me cut right to the chase, Commander, for I'm not a man who takes pride in his words, but in his pragmatism, rather. The entire realm is under siege, and the free peoples left need a strong leader. One who inspires. You see, there may be a war going on, Commander, but that doesn't mean you don't have a realm to rule. Oftentimes, political concerns will take precedence over military ones, no matter how trivial they may sometimes seem in these dark times. As much as possible, where your rule has been established, everyday life must continue like it would in times of peace, and everyday life concerns itself with everyday worries. The people will look to you for guidance in these matters. We, as their representatives, have witnessed your triumphs with mounting awe, and have agreed you are to be the one, the hero, who shall both restore the kingdom and recommence the workings of government. I therefore declare you Emperor. Long live the Emperor! Long live the Emperor!
I'm actually going to quickly up the voices. Speech. There we go. Ambient down. Reactions are. There we go. And hit save. Gov. Okay, so I'm going to be the Australian government when it comes to political matters.
May the Seven be praised now that we have found our champion and our emperor. May the fire of the dragon obliterate every heretic in its way. May the light of the gods illuminate your soul. The highest. We are the chosen of the Seven, Commander. We are those that have known death, have walked its black shores, but then have been restored to life. You think you are alive now, Commander, but you are not. You are but in the phase of flesh. Yet if you are devout and sweat in service of the Seven, you too, after the Dark Mother has lulled you to sleep, may be plucked from the dales of shadow and given the perpetuity of the bone. Do well by the gods, Commander, and you'll do well by us, as well as all in the realm. We have many proposals to that effect, which I will bring before you in due time. So say I, Yorick, humble servant of the Seven.
Honored to meet you, Commander. I am Oberon, envoy of the elves, ambassador of the beasts, spokesman of plants, here in the hope that our new emperor will treat majestic Rivellon with the reverence she deserves, even in these times of frightful war. Well, Commander, if elves were the only race to have become what they misnomer civilized, this globe and all upon it would exist in a paradise of such perfection, the gods need not create for us a heaven. Such, alas, is the fiction, not the reality. Others, less scrupulous in the handling of natural beauty, have risen to prominence. They hack and mine, blast, drain, and usurp. As much as we can, we condemn and attempt to stop their misguided endeavors. We are the Green Mothers, unwavering paladins, and it is our fondest desire you, Commander, will join our ranks. Defend nature, and defend the little man, for they will in turn defend you. A happy people, one with the wilds, will fight for its country with redoubled zeal. To that effect, I hope we'll have your backing.
Isn't this a world gone topsy-turvy? I've declared you Emperor, and you don't even know my name. Sir Falstaff Silvervein, Commander. Born and bred neath the Emerald Mountains. There. Now that we've been acquainted, I do declare it's time for a beer. A prouder folk you'll ne'er meet, Commander, nor a more robust one. Best allies an aspiring king can have, for our love of gold and all things precious is legendary, and gold is what an emperor needs if it be conquest that takes his fancy. So listen when I give advice, for your economy will prosper by it. Liquid gold, of course, is another of our pride and joys. For ale a sparkle, we'd go to war. But our families, above all, Commander, are holy. Those manifold kernels that band together, and like the rings that form a chain mail, shape a society that is stout and steadfast. Yes, dwarven families grow as plenty as the grain on 1,000 wheat fields. And just like grain, it is from them that we derive the bread that nourishes civilization, and the beer that quenches its thirst.
By the powers vested in me by the great lizard lords, I, Prospera, endorse your newfound emperorship. Sorely we are in need of a dragon commander. We are not a people that make great demands, Commander. We simply hold many a thing dear without succumbing to the excess of it. The dwarves revere their gold to such an extent it becomes a fetish. Elves abide so strictly by nature they become her slaves. We like gold, for it is an economical mast. We like nature, for she sustains us. Yet none of the two we idolize. Reason and liberty, those are our bywords. Territories we defend valiantly. Territories, alas, easily encroached upon, for emperors tend to curtail them. Our ideal is therefore not a monarchy, but a republic. Think on that, Commander, as you pursue the throne.
Don't lie to me, I know you're a fucking communist.
By Grumio's gadgets, it's a pleasure indeed to shake hands with you, Commander. Your technician is my nephew, don't you know? And I am Trinculo Shortfuse, son of Trunculo Even Shorter Fuse. Praised be the dragon! Ha! You want gizmos? You want imps. You want the unthinkable? You want imps. You want great, big, loud, bright fire explosions? Lords above, it's imps you want. We live for all that is new and shiny. The old, we blow it up. The new, we study it for a while before we blow it up. Why? Because there's always something even newer waiting around the corner. Science, Great Dragon, never sits still. Try, investigate, experiment. And with a bit of luck, boom! Ha ha ha! A bigger bang than ever. On a more serious note though, Commander, Science is indeed our passion, and we hope that under your rule we will be free to explore its limits. Damn the gods, for there are none, and damn petty morality, for it is a brake on progress. Back us, and we'll craft you miracles.
Okay. Okay, so I've got 20 gold now to the world map. Okay. And I need a tavern. Okay. Okay. There we go. And let's see. That's a war factory. I want to build another tavern, but let's see. What cars have I got? Increase revenue. Yeah, that's important. Okay, and 4 of them, so there we go, that should be good. And turn. Ooh, he's threatening to jump on me borders. Okay, Dragon Knight declared Emperor Wings Love Child is Emperor Last Hope. Okay, out of sight. Let's see. Attack range is decreased.
What a sorry excuse for a general Henry is. Drunk as a dwarf again, going on and on about his lost arm. The more liquor disappears down his throat, the more he can still feel it. Wish he had a phantom tongue instead of a phantom limb. The place would be so much quieter.
Well, 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 the Dragon Commander himself. Come, sit, drink with me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's had a few too many. But you'd take to the right too if you had an imp apparatus for an arm. Never told you how I came by this eyesore, did I?
It looks cool, mate.
'Twas during the great and glorious last stand to save the Empire. Horseshit. We fought like lions so that the king, your bloody father, could scarper with what riches he could hold. But my soldiers did their duty. They died where they stood, and I was left for dead, want of an eye and an arm. Not that any of it mattered. The king's head was shown decorating a stake, like star crowns will the pines come midwinter night. Defeat. Bah. Luckily, a touch of the malt can relieve its bitter taste. You have the respect of Maxos, and that certainly speaks in your favor. But you'll need to come a long way yet to prove unto me you're not just another pampered prince he yanked away from his mother's teat. So what'll you have then? Mead or milk?
What would you inquire of me?
Sup, Commander?
Commander, it is imperative that we should win the war. For our enemies are godless heathens in need of annihilation. To hasten this process, I therefore propose we introduce conscription. For why have young, able-bodied men sit around or do menial tasks when they could be serving in your armies instead?
Well, let's see. Will it limit freedom? Let's have a chat with
Commander,
the others.
even the most peace-loving elf won't deny that in these dark times of war, allowances have to be made which we would otherwise condemn. Conscription, though, goes too far. Let those that wish to fight for our cause do so, but let's not force men away from their families if they feel it is their duty to stand by them.
Conscription may have somewhat of an ill ring to it, Commander, but it might be worth consideration nonetheless. There's not a dwarf that won't take up his axe for the Empire, but elves! A three-fingered man could number their volunteers on one hand. Time to get these weaklings into shape.
I don't think conscription is a very good idea, Commander. Not only should a life of soldiery be an individual's choice rather than an obligation, but by drafting so many young men into the army, you're draining our economical reserves. So please don't forget your political obligations because of your military ones.
Here's an imp's perspective, Commander. More soldiers equals bigger battles, and bigger battles equals more explosions. Win-win. Granted, it's a bit of a simplistic perspective, but imps will have their fun, you know.
Okay, well, will I institute conscription? Well, I am acting as the Australian government at the moment, which means if it takes away people's freedoms, I'm all for it.
Bravo, Commander. Nothing like fresh blood to reinvigorate the military. A lot of it will be spilled, yes, but in service of the Seven, that is an honor, not a sacrifice.
You are too harsh a man, Commander. Think about the consequences of conscription. There will be cases of conscientious objection, desertion, thereby execution. So much drama for the sake of a few extra soldiers.
Good. Fair's fair, Commander. Oberon and his kin deserve to make a bit of an extra effort, and if they don't make for good cannoneers, at least they'll make for proper cannon fodder.
I think you're making a mistake, Commander, but so be it. A generation will march to war. How many will return, I wonder?
Wonderful. I knew you'd be swayed by the arithmetic of detonation. A child could do the math, and a child would be equally delighted by the outcome.
Okay. There's a tavern. Build tavern. That's that. Both 2, 1, 2. Okay. I can't remember what Parliament does. Come on, Parliament. Advantage and subversion cards. I guess I can keep that. I'll get rid of that war factory later on, because I can get a war factory there when I take over it. Actually, no soldiers there, so there we go. Let's move a hunter there. Okay. Oh, there's going to be 2 battles. Okay.
I will stand until my last breath. Troopers awaiting your decision, sire. Let's get this dance of death started.
Yep, enemies. No, that's not the enemy. That's the enemy. See, this map's a lot smaller than the other one.
Pay me in blood. It'll be built in a jiffy. Construction in progress.
Okay. Time for the dragon to rise!
Battle forge completed. Anti-ground turret completed.
Back to base. Okay. Okay, I got my hands on another tavern. And Imperial Army. Nah, they don't need a card. Ah, fuck it. Ah, lost the unit. Son of a bitch. Okay. Henry unfit to be general, but don't quote me on that. Lord Edmund confides. Okay. Good, got a mercenary card. What's this?
Fie upon Edmund's pride, Commander. The Lizard Lords have granted him the honor of representing our mighty military on a diplomatic mission of utter import, and he gets his knickers in a twist because it comes with a spot of sacrament alien to our ways. I should think it would be good fun to attend an imp ceremony. Something is bound to blow up. Isn't that what the generals normally like?
I must say, I don't envy Edmund, Commander. He's to bow and scrape afore an imp of all things. If 'twere any other general, I'd publicly protest. But that conceited tosser deserves to kiss dust once in a while. Remind him he walks the earth just like the rest of us. Well, except you, perhaps.
Ah, to be in the thick of...
Imps, Commander. Are they not truly the lowliest of all the races? Were it not for the hint of demon cunning in their blood, we most probably wouldn't speak to them as much as serve them for supper with a series of seasonal stuffings. As it is, however, the Lizard Lords have deemed it fit to strengthen the military cooperation between ourselves and those demoniacal dewdrops. I'd exhale an existential sigh upon the hearing of such folly, yet give it no further thought but for one devilish detail in the treaty. It is I, as our foremost general, who must, quite literally, stoop to inspect their armies. An impish high priest will be present, figures fit for farce that are greeted and received with ridiculous amounts of highly ritualized protocol. As Henry might say, Commander, I'd rather lick marmalade from an orc's behind than bow to an imp. My very reason for currying your draconic benevolence at this hour. Certainly I have your blessing to abstain from these grotesque formalities and tend to business rather than etiquette.
Well, I'm the Australian government here, so therefore, your freedom to choose is null and void.
Your wish, my command, et soris cetera. But if there indeed be hoops, the snapping of little necks will be added to the ritual.
Okay, I got 21 gold. That means I can... There we go. Sell building. And, damn it, I need 40 to build a tavern. Oh, well. Do I have any cards to play? Nope. Oh, well. Let's build a couple units. That's going to be a contested area, so I'm going to have to really defend that. That's right, that's right. Parliament, yeah, that's right. Okay, to battle again. Dun, 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 dun.
Let's get this dance of death started. The Emperor shows us the way. There is no reason to doubt your insight, sir. We'll crush them one leg at a time. The Emperor shows us the way. The Emperor shows us the way.
Okay, let's see.
Let's get this dance of death started.
Let's get a bit of a defensive section here going. Okay. Forge.
I will stand until my last breath. Is that a tree? Well, not anymore.
Is that a tree? Not anymore. Okay. No one takes my tavern. Excellent.
It would seem Edmund has come back from his inspection duties among the imp armies already. I had expected tales of mayhem to precede his reappearance. In fact, I bet Henry the lizards and imps would be at war as soon as he set foot among them. But no. All the better, of course. Though a little disappointing.
Frightfully boring folk, those lizards, Commander. That general of yours held our High Priest hostage with board games and chatter. Our engineers built a great tower just to blow it up again. A great gift for the envoy of our allies. But did he come and watch? No. Preferred conversation to combustion. What a nincompoop.
A toast to Trump.
What a win,
Commander, no doubt you rejoice at my swift return from the land of imps, that borough of blight, that cyst in civilization. Returned have I to more glorious heights. The gods I'd thank if I believed in any. Do forgive me if I appear exceptionally smug today, but I was very flattered, you see, to witness how my reputation precedes me even into the very crevices of the world. The imps had heard of my approach and my modicum of resentment for their rituals. I was therefore pleasantly surprised to be greeted with a cordial handshake no more. Yes, he was rather an agreeable chap, as a matter of fact. The High Priest, I mean. After the military inspection, we played chess and talked philosophy the night through. It goes without saying I won every game and lacerated his logic like an eagle its prey. But he was not as devoid of all intellect as I had expected his entire species to be. A comforting thought, somehow, knowing you trust them to strap explosive engines to your back.
Okay, to the throne room!
Commander, I am pleading here today on behalf of a dwarven miner who was cruelly left to his fate by his own kindred. An incident in the mines cost him his leg, and he is too poor to pay for a proper prosthetic one. Henry, your own general, could afford impish machinery, but the dwarves, who easily could as well, will not provide for their stricken fellow. Well, I say they should. Indeed, the state should. We can. So why not do so?
Just like diseases, accidents are simply punishments from the gods. If this misbegotten dwarf lost a leg, he probably took the Seven's names in vain, or forgot to say a prayer before dinner, and they saw it fit to make him attentive of his sin. Paying for his convalescence would be tantamount to forgiving his trespass, which only the gods have the least to do.
If the state should pay for each and every work accident, for every broken nail and broken leg, we'll be paying through the nose, and it's your finances that'll be crippled. Mark my words, Commander. Listen to that bleeding heart elf, and the treasury will bleed the more for it.
Oberon's tale is a shocking one, Commander. If this miner suffered such a dreadful injury while working, then the mining corporation in charge should pay for his treatment. And if they won't or cannot, then yes, the nation should.
There are more with a prosthetic limb than without among us imps. Comes with the territory, I suppose. All those volatile war machines. Most of our top inventors have more metal than meat to them. And of course, it's only fair the government chips in where they can.
Well, if it means hurting the Australian taxpayer, it's all
The
good.
people deserve a kind emperor and a generous one too. You are both, Commander.
So then you do forgive, and you do what is the prerogative of the Seven. Remember pride and fall, Commander. It's a long way down from the Raven.
But this will cost us millions! Once word gets out, every lazy bones in the land will feign a headache and cash a handout. This is insanity!
This decision will endear you in the hearts of many, and shame the dwarves for the neglect of their own brother. All in all, I'd say this has been a productive day.
Thanks, Commander. Took about 100 imps a hand and a foot to get your jetpack in working order. So paying for a couple of metal fingers and toes is the least you can do in return, wouldn't you say?
Okay, I got 35. Strategy cards. Dragon Tower is useless. Parliament. It was an academy. And subversion cards. What's that? Research. Okay. What's he got? Transport. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play a little bit defensive here at the moment until I get an extra tavern card.
For the Empire. Troopers awaiting your decision, sire. The grave be their destiny.
Okay, construction site.
It'll be built in a jiffy. That's impossible, Commander. There is no reason to doubt your insight, sir.
With imps never. So. Okay, what's this? Build a factory.
Typical of Catherine to get miffed over money. I don't care what they pay me as long as I get to brawl and booze.
When Catherine is out of sorts, there seems to be no escaping her ire, Commander. I do understand her, though. For whilst equality among the civilized races is not to be found, I do uphold that women are every bit as capable as men. provided they are lizards.
Yikes, what a vixen! Can't dear old Kathy be happy with the wages she gets? Not like she has to cook or clean.
Listen here, Commander, for I have a matter of great import that I should like to bring to your attention. In the realm I ruled, that rule was absolute, as was that of my vassals, women all, of course. We concerned ourselves with matters of mastery and the mind. Men with all things menial, according to the natural order. On this ship, however, I find myself trapped amid so many cocks of the walk, the one more swollen with self-importance than the next, only to discover these pompous windbags actually earn more wages than Scarlet, Prospera, or I do.
Well,
If anyone, it is we of the superior sex who should sooner receive more silver and gold than those of the savage variety. You'll set right this iniquity, Commander, and you'll do it now.
Well, seeing how the Australian government is cucked as fuck, and yeah,
Good.
why not?
So you should. And I hope this is the last of such nonsense I've had to deal with.
Yes, but it won't be the last of the nonsense from you, you bitch.
Ah, to be queen again. I'd show you how to run.
Yikes, what?
Oh, that reminds me, I should really purchase some upgrades. Let's see, how many have I got? I got 27. Better explosions for the grenadiers. And ironclads. See, the dragon skills are actually fairly useless for the most part. I shall build myself a tavern. And play card. Nope. Wish I could sell the cards. Let's build some units, some troopers. Move those troopers there. What have they got? A battle! To battle! That land shall be mine. Let's see. Enemy. There we go. Let's do this. By the way, that chick's demeanor never gets any better.
A drunk man's orders are a sober man's thoughts.
Don't be pushy.
Rock and roll, baby.
All right, all right. I'm going.
Okay, that's a resource one I should probably get hold of. Enemy not doing anything, which is good. That screen tear is really annoying. But I can put up with it, because it's not appearing on stream as far as I know.
Construction underway, Commander. It'll be built in a jiffy.
There'd better be a tavern!
Go on, give me a target.
Construction in progress. Anti-ground turret completed.
Where am I? There's one. Dragon!
Recruitment citadel completed.
You set the trap, I'll make the kill. Shit, you're blowing my cover. On the trail. Get us out of here, Commander!
Back to the river! Excellent. Have equal wages. They get something through the class ceiling. Genocide. Excellent. Okay.
Commander, the war is displacing a great many people, and thus the influx of a great many foreigners into the realm is inevitable. Many of them are driven to crime by want or ill will. To that effect, I propose that if a foreigner is found guilty of an offense, he or she should be deported immediately. Delinquency is on the rise, and we need a few effective deterrents to curb its proliferation.
Foreign criminals seem to abound like sand on the beach these days, Commander. Let's be rid of them like Falstaff suggests. In fact, the sea would be as good a border as any to make them cross. Yes, let them drown for their misdeeds.
Many criminals inhabit our realm, Commander. Such is the unpleasant reality. Some of them are domestic, some of them are foreign. Punish them when they are caught, but do not make the distinction.
Oberon and I are of the same mind in this matter, Commander. Deportation just seems a bit excessive. And I very much doubt it's the structural solution Sir Silvervein hopes it to be.
No, 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 Commander. Falstaff has it all wrong. We imps force foreign convicts to do all sorts of dirty and dangerous jobs. Why deport when we can make them drudge?
Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, seeing how I'm playing as the Australian government, the Australian government seems to enjoy letting foreign criminals just enter the country, whether it be terrorists or border jumpers or anything like that. So I can't deport people who break the law because I'm playing as the Australian government. So if it's going to make the citizens unhappy, well, I'm all for making the citizens unhappy. So I will not deport.
Leniency leads to lawlessness, Commander.
That's exactly what I want.
You'd spare your populace from such nuisances as pickpockets and highwaymen. To no avail, it seems.
Wise of you, Commander. I find no fault in Falstaff's objective, only in his method. There are other ways to fight crime, ones that do not include stigmatization.
Continue to be soft of heart, Commander, and you'll soon find it pierced by a common interloper out for what coin he can find. By refusing to set any examples, you're allowing godless foreigners to pillage and murder amongst us. Don't you realize it's a crime to tolerate crime?
Yes, but I'm the Australian government, Mr. Falstaff.
I'm glad you gave the matter some further consideration, Commander. A foreign maid of mine was once caught stealing a silver candlestick, but she does such a good job otherwise, I'd rather have her back than see her deported.
Right you are, Commander. Let strangers do dodgy chores, and no one will ask any questions if anything goes awry.
Okay, to the world map. Can I build... No, I can't. Tavern for 50. Okay, let's line these up against the border. There we go. Tavern, 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 and tavern. Okay. Take a couple of turns, but I'm going to get hold of that war factory. Parliament, capital. Oh wait, that's good. That's good. Build a tavern there. It is good. Refuses tough stance on crime. Citizens victim of lackluster politics. For hunters. What's got freaking...
So, Oberon is putting poof nuptials back on the agenda, is he? When will those blasted elves realize marriage is about procreation, not pleasure or passion? Can't these queers be happy with what they have? Used to shoot 'em on sight barely a century ago.
Good.
Commander, I intend to propose legislation later today that will make it possible for gay couples to be married. I know I'll get some pretty stiff opposition from Falstaff and especially Yorick, so I'm hoping I can count on your support. Sir Falstaff raises some proper concerns about family values and the likes, but that holier-than-thou collection of bones will prattle on and on about gods and such nonsense. Nothing we can't handle.
Commander, could you spare me a moment? Now, I know I'm a general and politics isn't my field of expertise, but I was hoping you'd support Oberon in his attempts to allow marriage for people of the same sex. It's a pet peeve of mine, you see. Live and let live, I say. Why do others get to decide who someone may or may not love? None of their bloody beeswax. So much hypocrisy will be exposed for what it is, you know. Think of the famed lizard artist Della Gecko, for instance. Everybody knows he's gay, but he was forced to marry a duke's daughter. 2 lives made miserable because of senseless so-called moral objections. The whole business is unconscionable if you stop and think about it.
Seven wither Oberon's tongue for uttering such perversions. He and his depraved ilk would allow men and women to fornicate with others of their own gender. How base, how vile can one become? God save us from this debauchery.
Now, the Australian government did give a vote, but that vote was bullshit and was a lie. That actually was a rigged vote. Because everybody I talked to was not in support of it, but the government did it anyway.
So much hypocrisy will be exposed for what it is, you know. Think of the famed lizard artist. Thanks, Commander. You're a doll. I'd give you a kiss that'd blow your jetpack off if you weren't off limits.
Yep, so the people don't get to decide on that because it was a lie. Let's get to research, see if I can get any more. Let's get some shamans. And there we go. I think I've still got 10 left. Armorer. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, transport. Transports are expensive. I guess I can can't generate strategy cards, acquisition advantage, and subversion. What's that? That gives 3 gold, 1 gold, 2 gold, 6 gold. Okay. So I get 1, 2. So this war factory can create there we go. No cards to play. Parliament. Save that. general tries to influence policy. We're heading for a military dictatorship if this continues, say Angry Sir Silvervein. Imp fighters unleashed. Once I can get some imp fighters. They're the good little buggers. Ooh, devastators.
So, you're backing the fairies, are you? Both the elves and the other kind. Thin end of the wedge, if you ask me, Commander. They'll be marrying goats next.
Well, the Australian government will approve of that as well.
Gay marriage is a reality. You've written history, Commander. Long have we elves fought for what we think is an example of basic equality. But never has a monarch given us his public support. Bravo!
To the bar. To be told that the lesbian
Seven
was
save
right.
us from the dragon, for where he goes, vice sprouts like infectious corruption, disseminates like a poisonous contagion. Ghouls coveting not women as they should, hags longing for anything but the male touch. Abhorrent is the hell you stage.
Thanks again for passing that new marriage law, Commander. There are these two lizard girls I know, and they tied the knot the moment the news broke. What a feast we had! I don't remember any of it.
Yes,
Right.
Yes, Commander.
I love that she's got a pumpkin and a tomato stuffed in her freaking tits. Cause okay. Yeah, let's get some Zeppelins. Wait a second. I think I got 5 anti-air turrets. There we go.
Commander, every citizen in the realm pays taxes. Every industry does the same. But which is the one institution that escapes the taxman? Why, the church, of course. Hardly fair, is it? So why not introduce a temple tax? Let every temple, church and cathedral pay, say, a monthly fee as a token of goodwill toward the Empire. After all, does not the church benefit too from a strong and wealthy state?
When will that filthy dwarf finally pass a single day without resorting to sacrilege, base and vile? The Church of the Seven is holy, above such secular concerns as taxes. If you want yet more gold for the royal coffers, you had better look elsewhere, Commander.
Introduce this new tax, Commander, and the Church will just demand more of the public in donations. So in the end, who will really pay? The man in the street. And they give more than their share already.
The Church of the Seven is one of the wealthiest organizations in Rivlon, Commander, and it's true they don't impart as much as tuppence to the treasury. So Falstaff is right, hardly fair.
Temple tax. What a marvelous idea. Take from the Seven and give it to science. Falstaff's got it.
Let's see. If it will make the people more miserable and me richer, that is exactly what the Australian government would do. So, we will institute a temple tax because it will hurt the people.
Marvelous! Oh, yes, excellent! I will take care of everything, Commander. A sacred river of gold will start flowing in before you know it.
I am baffled beyond belief. The profanity here enacted is enough to anger the mildest of the gods. In fact, I'm much surprised a lightning bolt from the heavens hasn't yet torn the raven asunder.
When the dwarves come along with one of their schemes, everyone goes colorblind, it seems. They see only gold and care for gold only. The greater good, forgotten.
Splendid. I'm certain any clergyman worth his salt will gladly part with some of his worldly means if doing so bodes well for the Empire. Wouldn't you agree, dear Yorick?
Spot on, Commander, spot on. Tax 'em to kingdom come. You'll be doing 'em a favor.
Okay. And... Yep. Good show, Commander. Okay. To the map again. Do. And that is a war factory, which... Here we go, that moves there. I should probably get hold of that land soon. That's a parliament. I will be spreading my forces, but I can do it. Chance to win, 95. That's a war factory, so 5 units. Some more troopers. And 10. There we go. Auto battle becomes pretty good once you start getting a lot of general cards and stuff. Not general cards, mercenary cards. The nation. Oh, the undead are really not liking me. Okay. Destroy an factory. Oh, balloons. Balloons are good. All naval units can be chosen for 50% discount. That will be good. Oh, what's the fucking communist want now?
I hope you don't mind, Commander, but I've requested that a few of your generals should undo the havoc that is being caused by a group of lizard rebels. These misguided souls have taken to the teachings of a cult that worships the so-called One God, and they're causing no end of unrest where they dwell. I'm sure Henry and Edmund are the proper officers for the job, wouldn't you agree? They'll need to be diplomatic, though, if they seek to succeed.
Sabine,
A dear old lady, our Prospera, but it saddens me to see senility is taking hold. She actually wants me to work together with that barrel of gin they call a general. It would be almost comical, if it weren't so galling.
Commander, a word in your ear. There seems to be a spot of trouble in one of the provinces. Some lizard rebel running amok. Naught but a trifle that Prospera has requested us to deal with. But she wants me and Bloody Edmund to go together. Yes, he's a lizard too, it stands to reason. But the man's as pleasant as a cactus down your trousers. So if you don't mind, I'll go alone.
Let's see. If it's going to make both of you unhappy, the Australian government is going to say, too bad, what your choice? You'll do what you're told.
Practice? I'll be practicing skittles with his balls before the day is out. You know that cold-blooded cretin annoys me to no end. I'll follow your orders, Commander. But we're supposed to quell an uprising, you know. Not add fuel to the fire.
A dear old lady.
Okay, let's see. I've got 10. So what can I get for 10? Let's see. Relations. %. Transport cloak. That seems good. Okay. Really got to get this 2 fixed. That's a Parliament. Hunter. No, that's good enough. It's good that he chose Tavern, because I can do that. Can I play a card? Let's see. Troopers won't be able to move. No, I'll save that. Sadly, I've pissed off the undead, so I'm going to actually have a lot more trouble in this area soon. Either way. That arsehole! My Parliament! My Parliament! You dickbag! Oh well. So, troopers. Well, Hunters, Troopers, Juggernaut, Grenadier. Warlocks, that's Shaman. Okay. Stuff it. I can do this. I can do this by myself with my dragon power. See.
A bang for your buck!
We'll crush them one leg at a time. Let's get this dance of death started. It'll be built in a jiffy. Construction underway, Commander.
Yep. Okay, now I just need to wait for a dragon.
Construction in progress.
I can't remember how much a dragon costs. I'm not sure whether it was 20 or 30 resources.
Anti-ground turret completed. Anti-ground turret completed. We'll crush them one leg at a time.
So they move far enough. You. Oh, and you. No one fucks with my bloody peoples. Two generals sent to quell minor. It's a problem. They don't have a war to win.
What a pair Edmund and Henry make, Commander. Worry no longer. The insidious religion of the one god no longer tempts a single lizard in the realm. They either pay homage to the Seven, or have the good sense not to prattle on about gods at all.
Never would I have expected the likes of Henry to wag such a silver tongue. There must be some brain cells left neath that simian cranium of his after all. Holding on for dear life, I expect.
We've returned from our mission, Commander. All's well among the lizards again. No more praise for the one god anymore, but proper prayer for the Seven, or whatever floats their boat. I was hoping for at least some resistance, so that I could spill a mite of their cold blood. But there was none to be had. Diplomacy, aka idle chatter, saved the day. Wasn't such a bad thing, looking back on it, that serpent of an Edmund tagged along. Obviously, we were plotting each other's demise from the get-go, but when push came to shove, we both wanted to appear the greater general, forced us to bring our A-game. Long story short, the cultists renounced their evil ways and were accepted back into society. Boring as fig stew. But Prospera's over the moon. She can stay there for all I care.
Our victory was...
Stand in the path of a
No, wrong button. I want to go to engineering. Got 50 gold. Another tavern. Play card. Okay. Factory. Buy unit. Buy one. Ah. Hunter, Trooper 7. There we go. And then turn. Cult are crazy, lavish with latency. They deserve death, not diplomacy. Claims outraged Yorick. Okay, mercenary hunters. Zeppelin. Okay, to the throne!
Commander, you know we elves sometimes stuff our pipes with a few Druidani leaves so as to experience its gentle, mind-altering effects. There are some that say its use should be outlawed, but I want to propose the exact opposite. Studies have shown this plant's medicinal use can do wonders to alleviate pain. So I think every doctor should be allowed to administer Druidani like any other remedy.
I'm trying to remember
Both in
Australia's drug
sickness and
policy.
in health, we recognize the judgment of the gods, Commander, as we do in convalescence and death. Interfering by means of medicine is already a sin. Adding the use of vile narcotics to the equation merely aggravates the misdeed.
What is it with the elves and their damnable love for hallucinogenic leaves? I've seen those who use it, sitting around with bloodshot eyes, talking gibberish. Medicinal! Malicious, more like.
Commander, if Druidani truly possesses the qualities attributed to it by Oberon, and under responsible medical supervision it may be used to alleviate pain, well then of course I support the elven bid.
Our studies show Oberon is correct, Commander. Sure, it took our researchers a very long time to write down their results, which they did in the weirdest of phrases, and for some reason they et. But one simply cannot dismiss their deductions.
Well, Australian government is basically on point to legalising weed. Fine.
Thank you, Commander. Druidini really is a wonderful herb if used with care and consideration. Hopefully the bad reputation it suffers among the likes of Falstaff and Yorick will dwindle in time because of today's decision. Light those pipes, I say!
If thou hast erred, let pain be thy penance, for it sweats the sin from your skin. So say the 7 scriptures, Commander. Therefore it is truth. What could you possibly hope to achieve by denying the truth?
The use of Druidini is in itself a sickness, Commander, and can never be a cure. Patients will leave our clinics as addicts, destined for the gutter. The dragon makes for a fine doctor indeed.
Well, if it means more suffering and more people, Australia
Very wise of you,
will do
Commander.
it.
Let us hope the use will not lead to abuse. In fact, let us not hope. Let us supervise.
Ha! Well done! I'll be sure to inform our scientists their efforts were not in vain. I'll procure some Druidini, a couple of pastry chefs, and bake them a cake that will blow their socks off.
Okay. Build one there. Now your tavern will be mine. Enter. To battle!
All is ours for the taking.
It'll be built in a jiffy. Battle Forge completed.
Okay.
Unit is being manufactured, Commander. Trooper ready to march. The Emperor's enemy is my enemy. Constructed to fight. The Emperor shows us the way. The grave be their destiny.
The best way to see Rivellon is through the crosshairs of my double barrel.
Okay, got another tavern. And there's hospitals as attics. Gold mine.
Dull's Charwin White Whiskers strikes again, Commander. He's the foremost dwarven scholar, as I'm sure you know, and he's about to publish his 1000th article on natural history. Rumour has it he'll make a startling new revelation, and I'm anxious to read all about it.
Edmund seems to be in a mood fouler than an ogre's abattoir. We were just trading routine insults when I said, "Your grandmother was an orc," and immediately he tried to get his bloody hands round my throat. Madcap lizard. Who gets so upset over such a childish taunt?
You taught our enemy.
Commander, a most grave and ignominious matter has come to my attention. Some dwarven quack, styling himself a scientist, claims he has found conclusive proof that we lizards, and some form of degenerate aquatic orc, are descendant of one and the same ancestor. He means to publish this rot in the Rivellon Scientific Gazette, thereby causing irreparable damage to our species' reputation. With the utmost insistence, I therefore urge you to halt this publication. And if the matter of censorship bothers you, think nothing of it. By blocking the printing of this inane nonsense, you're safeguarding not only the good standing of all lizards, but of the illustrious Gazette as well. A dwarven scholar, really? The very notion is ludicrous.
Let's see. If it involves censoring people, the Australian government approves.
Yes, well, I have a few words I've been saving for just such an occasion. He'll recant his aberrant ideas about evolutional origins, unless he wants me to teach him a thing or two about extinction.
Yep. Australian government, pro-censorship. Build a factory, build a gold mine. I don't need any more gold. I did lose the parliament. So, strategy card, I guess. Got my tavern. Get that wizard's tower. I'll sell that next turn. And then I'll just jump through a shitload of bloody turns in order to get as many cards as possible.
To be honest, Commander, I had expected more of Old Man Charwin. One has but to look at lizards to see whether they be distant relatives of orcs or not. Some great-great-great-grandmother of theirs romanced a snail at some point. Silly creatures.
Edmund is of a very rare sunshiny disposition today, Commander. Gives me the shivers when he bids me good day instead of offering me his normal stare. You know, the one as if he's looking upon an accident left on the carpet by someone's dog.
Were that I were the monarch.
Well, Commander, I must admit I was... well, not wrong, but a tad less correct than I could have been about Dull's Charwin White Whiskers, the dwarven scientist whose findings riled me so. As it would turn out, his article was far from complete, but the Rivellon Scientific Gazette wanted to publish it nonetheless, so as to make an ill portrayal of us lizards. The chief editor is some exasperating elf, apparently, who was once outwitted by a lizard in a business deal. Of course he was. The researcher's true findings, though, are quite interesting to say the least. The ancestor theory seems likely, but somewhere down the road a complete split was made, wherein all that was strong and shrewd flowed to our line, and all that was backward and bland was left to the orcs. His work is a celebration of lizard triumph in the course of evolution. I have seen to it, it will be published the realm round. There we have it, a dwarven scholar worth his salt. I had thought it as likely as Henry showing a display of wit. But I was mistaken, and that is a phenomenon less frequent than a snowstorm in the deserts of youthful Gaul.
Commander, I'd like to address some issues I have with the Rivlon Times. Now, I know the press will try to embellish stories to make for more savory reading material. But half the stuff they print nowadays is fabricated nonsense of an almost always sensational or slanderous nature. I want you to reprimand them, Commander. I want it to be known that from now on they must either publish the truth or else publish no longer.
The Rivlon Times is no more than a daily dose of heresy for those that sinfully partake. Rather than admonish, you should abolish the thing altogether, Commander.
I couldn't agree with Prospero more, Commander. The Rivlon Times journalists aren't simple fact-finders. No, they ferret for filth. Ever since I've become a counselor aboard the Raven, I've discovered dwarven newspapermen under my bed on no less than 3 separate occasions. And one I caught climbing through the bathroom window.
The Rivlon Times is a dwarven and therefore commercial enterprise, Commander. Juicy stories sell copies. That is simplicity itself. I categorically deny, by the way, that our editors spread lies, or at the very least spread lies on purpose. So, if a chambermaid divulges to us a minister of the crown likes to spank his mistress in the bedroom, and this later turns out to be untrue, she is at fault, not we, for having printed her tale.
Commander, I'd like...
I see no imp interest in this matter at all, Commander. I'll just flip a coin then. Heads means yes, tail means no. And heads. Yeah, go ahead and reprimand them.
Well, publishing lies is what the government likes. But if they're insulting politicians, well, then we must reprimand them.
Thank you, Commander. To inform the general public of the events of the Empire is a great responsibility, not a lackadaisical frivolity. The dwarves would do well to take this duty a bit more seriously, and their caricaturists especially could stand to be a bit more sensitive.
Well, I guess a reprimand is a first step. Does it include the raiding of the Rivlon Times' offices, perhaps? Shall they be gutted by fire? For that would be most agreeable and please the Seven.
Very good, Commander. I can tell you it was all very embarrassing for my wife to pick up the morning paper and find out I'd been tending to another garden on the side. She kept on hogging the rose bushes. My favorite. What was I to do?
But this reprimand will kill business. Who wants to read mere facts? Facts are boring. God blimey, Commander. Reprimand if you must, but don't break the news until I've sold all my shares in the Times.
Okay, so we just do like the coin says then. We could flip one every bloody time, you know? Sure would put an end to all this bloody bickering.
Oh, wait a second. I've got to go to engineering. Okay, got one there. Oh, got a parliament. Tavern. One gold. There we go. Okay, now it's time to basically just buy a shitload of troopers and let's see. Warlocks. I think they can attack against. No headlines today because the Revelon Times is being censored by the Dragon Empire. Adronic Empire. Sincerest apologies.
Accursed be that hothead of a Henry, Commander. I'd rather swallow needles than endeavor a constructive discussion with him ever again. You know what he's like on the field. Always must he fly solo. Always must he go charging in like a bull in heat. Ridiculous. If he's thinking at all about what he's doing, it's with his brain that dangles, not deducts. The man's a menace, a danger to himself and others.
Fucking hell, she's always bitching and moaning.
How delightfully entertaining to see Catherine and Henry exploding in rage over a strategic disagreement. Like children they are, vainly trying to prove to one another they have the better toy. Of course, none of the two realizes they could argue till the dwarves grow tired of gold and never reach the tiniest epiphany. To wage war requires a distinct brand of genius. Where they are found wanting, I am found abounding.
By all the gods, real or imaginary, devils take my manhood if that Catherine creature isn't a bigger bitch than a mountain-sized mastiff. So what if I wage war by my own rules and care little for her so-called team tactics? That's no reason to question my ability. She's lucky she has tits to prove she's not a man, or I'd have beaten her more savagely than a dwarf is anvil. Besides, what's the use of standing shoulder to shoulder when you know the fella next to you will run once the swords start ringing and the blood begins to flow? Aye. That's what happened the day I lost my arm. I stood my ground, alone. And the rest of the Emperor's generals, they outran their wives and their litter trying to escape. So much for loyalty. So much for duty.
Well, if this is going to make you unhappy,
I find it a lot easier to tell the benefit of the doubt it can go shag itself. But if you insist, I'll give the others a chance. Though I'm sure they'll prove to be a bigger disappointment than looking for a brothel in an elf town.
Oh wait, no, I want hunters. Ooh, you want a battle, do you? You want a battle? We'll battle. Ugh. So much for jumping through a shitload of turns quickly.
There'd better be a tavern. No mountain can stop us.
construction in progress.
Ale for all! There'd better be a tavern. Bring me the spoils of war. There'd better be a tavern.
It'll be built in a jiffy.
No mountain can stop us.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Summon dragon!
Water turret completed.
The island! Oh. There we go. Raven Barton tries tired of General's drunken babble. Who talks about is Imp Arm and he tips worse than a dwarf. Good.
Oh, my head. Feels like there's an imp wedding celebration going on in there and they've just lighted the fireworks. I drank shots and played poker with Henry, Edmund, and Scarlet. Not a dime left in my pockets. But it was rather jolly, in a vulgar sort of way. Men will have their simple pleasures, you know. Games of chance, drinking games, etc. All made for a welcome change from Henry's moody ways, though. He was rather cordial, if you can believe it. Thought I'd see Maxos shave his beard first.
To the bar!
You taught our enemy the meat.
Next time Henry wants to play cards, I'll tell him I'd rather tongue kiss a rattler. Such an unrefined game, really. The pastime of booze hounds and imbeciles. Quite unfit for a man of my refinement. To change the subject entirely, could I receive my wages a bit earlier this month? I've had some unexpected expenses.
Commander, so I took your counsel to heart and decided I should give my fellow generals a chance to prove they are worthy of my esteemed friendship and perhaps even trust. What better test I can put them to, I ask myself, than the holy game of poker? See who's shrewd, behold who bluffs, descry who dares and when. So that's what I did. Rounded them up and played from dusk till dawn. You were right. They're not a bad bunch once you get to know them. Obviously, I left their purses emptier than Yorick's skull, which does do wonders for my temper. Can't rightly say if that endeared me to them, but I'm sure as hell I'd like to see more of them once this month's wages come in.
Good old Henry and Edmund.
Commander, you know that many of the greatest imp inventors and scientists suffer no end of injuries in the line of duty. New and fickle weapons tend to, well, go boom at inopportune moments. Often, we heal their wounds with magic and replace lost limbs with marvels of engineering. But ever so often, they are beyond repair. In that case, we like to end their suffering by means of Black Rose extract. In the eyes of the law, though, this is murder. So let us scrap that law.
Mr. Shortfuse's proposal is a meritorious one, Commander. Every sun must set, and if the setting is one of suffering, why not speed it along with Black Rose?
No dwarf goes gently into the dark night if he can help it, Commander. We fight against the dying light with every sinew in our bodies, and no needle-wielding quack will ballywell interfere. Only those who clung to every last breath are worthy of the eternal warrior's afterlife.
Trinculo is quite correct, Commander. That law is woefully outdated and should simply be abolished. Sometimes to kill is the only way to be merciful.
Life is a gift of the gods, and so of course is death. It is not up to mortals or undead to tamper with either of them, which is precisely what those impish charlatans are trying to do.
Well, if it leaves people more suffering, the Australian government approves. We will not allow it.
Crackling cannons, Commander! If even we imps concede defeat and say a patient is beyond rescue, there is nothing any wizard in the world can do. You're condoning suffering for the sake of suffering. Why?
Because it's the Australian government's way.
I take it then, Commander, that if you'd find a fish on a world with no seas, you'd happily stand by and see it thrash and turn as it dies a slow death. Such cruelty will now persist in our hospitals, and our doctors will have to look on in horror for fear of being branded a killer should they interfere.
Well done! Life is a battle to the death, and if you don't go out wrestling the Reaper into submission, you might as well snuff it the day you're born.
You're just taking away the humane option from medical professionals to provide for a dignified farewell. To deny the inevitable is always folly, Commander.
Very good. Let nature run its course, Commander, and you can never go amiss. For to refrain from taking any action is the best way of ensuring you're doing nothing to upset the will of the gods.
Oh, the dwarves really hate me and so do the undead. But the communist lizards love me and, well, the communists love Australia. Seven troopers, 8 troopers. There we go. What am I on? Turn 17. I want to get up to like turn 80 before I beat these end boss guys. Well, they're not the end boss. They're just a small boss.
Once more the undead are in an uproar over nothing, Commander. Now they are systematically tearing down the statues of their own foremost artist because she made the posthumous confession of being gay. What on earth moved her to do so, we'll never know, but the results are tragic. Please tell Yorick to calm his kin. A civilized society should not stand for such barbarism, whether the gods approve or not.
Horror of horrors, Commander. Claudella, our foremost artist, turns out to be a sinner of sapphic sentiments. Such transgression cannot be condoned. The gods will not stand for it. All her works shall be pulled down onto the ground and smashed into the dust. Seven forgive us for having admired her so.
What would you
Remember I mentioned the artist Della Gecko a while ago, Commander? Brilliant. Gay. Well, I have another example. The undead sculptress Claudella, who sadly perished a short while ago because of some strange disease that sometimes plagues her kindred. She was an artist of profound mastery,
It was AIDS, wasn't
revered
it?
by every single one of the undead, but now that in her last will and testament she revealed to have had a long-standing physical relationship with a woman they always assumed to be her sister, the vermin are systematically destroying all her works. Beautiful bronzes, marvelous marbles, all are falling under the hypocrites' hammers. But you can do something about this, Commander. You can stop this madness. And if you won't, give me the order and I'll bash the skull of each vandal I meet.
let's see. Australia is all happy for violence, so bring it
Couldn't have
on.
said it better myself. Cheers, Commander. You're officially a patron of the arts now. I shall raise a toast to you tonight. And in the meantime, try not to succumb to the temptation of yanking away Yorick's lower jaw and throwing it overboard.
Yep. Okay. Devastator, mercenaries.
Bravo, Commander. You went out of your way to preserve the legacy of a fine artist, and did so despite the diplomatic ramifications. We
Well, she was
lizards
gay,
commend
so
you.
we had to do it.
You may have gone against us. You may think you have won, Commander, but you have done no such thing. What is left of Claudella's works is locked away in so-called museums, away from the eyes of every undead. Not a single one of us will enter these places ever again, or be stricken down by the seven.
What would you inquire?
Good news, Commander! The undead riots have been squelched, and the many artworks of Claudella that escaped their pitiful ire have been placed in various museums where they're guarded round the clock.
Yep, well, it was done by a gay person, so we must always bloody do what the gays want.
That'll show those intolerant bastards! This is a great victory for mankind everywhere. A victory of nature over nurture. Of freedom over oppression. The undead need to know one can be gay and held in high regard nonetheless. Let that be the lesson.
Yes, how dare they choose to not like gays? How dare they choose to choose what they
This
want?
whole business was about art, of course, but still. Let that be the lesson.
Ah, that's right, engineering. Okay, to the next political
Commander,
thing.
I'd like to raise a delicate issue regarding the imps. You see, there's just too many of them. They procreate so quickly, they put the rabbits to shame. And if we don't do something about it, there will be 2 of their number for every single elf or dwarf or lizard. Curtail their expansion, I say. Families of 5 should be their limit.
Oberon's quite right, Commander. Those heathen demonic pests breed like sin in a brothel, and the result is just as diseased. I'd have them all wiped out, but for the moment I'll settle for a mere reduction of their number.
Oberon oversteps his bounds, Commander. The family is a holy institution. Let no man mingle with a family's private affairs.
It shocks me a free-spirited elf could advocate state control over the number of children one is or is not allowed to have. Lizards too hatch many eggs in one sitting, so to speak. Huh? Are we Oberon's next target, perhaps?
What is all this elven claptrap? How dare he utter such rot? An impish family isn't complete until Nipper number 22 comes along.
No, I will not institute a family thing. If the immigrants and imps want to outbreed us, that is their prerogative.
Commander, a single rat is just a cute animal. A large mouse, no more. But unleash them by the hundreds and thousands, and what are they? Pests! And why? Merely because of their number and the inconvenience that number causes. That is what imps will be.
Oh, bother. These fellows are like lice, Commander. You see one of them jump about the place, and the next thing you know, there's a dozen of them, rendering everybody else annoyed and itchy.
Good show, Commander. It's an unthinkable thing indeed for the government to regulate the affairs of the bedroom. I already regard tax collectors as violators of my privacy, let alone sex inspectors.
Wise of you, Commander. You know how lizards' tails stir in indignation when the government tries to influence matters of personal freedom and responsibility. Proposals such as Oberon's stir me so vehemently I seem to suffer nervous nervous tics.
Darn tootin', Commander. Set that ruddy elf straight. Too many imps indeed. We're only half as tall as the rest. We deserve to have strength in numbers.
Okay, let's move ironclads here. Buy 2 more ironclads. And end the turn. Okay. Will dominant seem they'll outnumber us all. Devastators. Imp fighters. Excellent. Imp fighters are the best units. Ah, what's Oberon want this time?
Commander, I have formally accused the undead in the city of Harrow Ridge of genocide and brought the matter before the council. The situation there is frightful. Fanatics among the undead, are there any other, have been purging the unclean, that is to say, the elven community. There have been patrols in the night, empty houses in the morning, and loose earth in ditches near the edges of the city. Scandalous, as is the negligence shown by General Edmund. He was given the task of regulating the town according to your laws, but of course he's not lifted a finger to stop this secretive slaughter because of his well-known contempt for the elves.
If you've been talking to Oberon, Commander, know he is grossly overacting, in my humble opinion. In a remote town, far away from proper civilization, perhaps it is true tensions between undead and elves could manifest in some sort of temporary violence, but mass killings? By the Seven, no. That I cannot believe.
Oh, well, let's have a look.
Triumph beget...
You taught our enemy that...
If there is one favor you can do for me, Commander, it's to invite Oberon up on one of the observation decks, give him a nudge, and let gravity prove elves can indeed not fly. Then at least he can pester me no more with his aggravating accusations of professional misconduct. He's been prattling on and on about some tiff between some of his sorry sort and a couple of undead as hot-headed as they are airheaded. He even talks of genocide, if you can believe it. Melodramatic little man, isn't he? All of this is supposed to be happening in some rural hamlet newly conquered. No more than a collection of pigsties and whorehouses, I imagine, and I bet you can hardly tell the difference. Yes, I was officially given the responsibility to oversee matters there, but some local undead officer said he'd do the job, and I was all the more glad for it. As you can see, Oberon missed the mark once more. I can hardly be charged for misconduct when I haven't even conducted anything, now can I, Commander? Hop to it! You have before you the greatest general in Rivellon, and you're ordering him to waste his time on a bunch of peasants that are having trouble playing nice. Very well, Commander. Perhaps later I can attend to more of this urgent business. I'm sure there's loads of kittens stuck in trees and toddlers in want of their teddies.
If it makes your life miserable, so be it. No, ironclad there. And beauty. Almost.
By the Seven, Commander, what has happened in the town of Harrow Ridge is truly abominable. Such crimes committed by my kinsmen. I can hardly believe it. Those elves, they must have staged unspeakable acts of sacrilege to madden them so. They must have... Why else would they? Heresy gross and foul.
The phrase too little, too late comes to mind, Commander. But it seems Edmund did his duty in the end. The nightmare of Harrow Ridge vanished come the dawn, and those responsible for the killings have themselves been rendered unto death. Justice is hereby done, and I am furthermore glad to say Edmund apologized for his earlier disbelief in my accusations towards the undead. I hope they too have learned a lesson. They've had a horrid example of what their own religious mania may lead to.
Looks like Edmund's impenetrable contempt for all that is non-lizard was pierced, Commander, be it ever so slightly. Had a kind word to say about some elves out in the country. Why he'd do that for the life of me, I can't imagine.
Harrow Ridge. A harrowing place if ever there was one, Commander. When Oberon first spoke of its supposed horrors, I dismissed them as the ravings of yet another councillor shouting for attention. But it was all damnably true. The undead, they were slaughtering each and every elf they could get their bony, sordid claws on. In the name of the Seven. Lunatics, the lot of them. But no skeleton stirs there anymore. They tasted their own medicine by my very blade. The law of the land I set in place and left a kindly old elven landowner as mayor. They'll rebuild their houses lost to zealots' torches, and forget as best as they might the Knights of Blood. To think the idea of a few dead elves made me chuckle as I travelled there. Quite another thing to see 'em lying in the ditches, row on row, gored and mangled. Yet no sooner had my troops restored order than their survivor spirits soared once more, and they swore to reshape their stricken little society. I'll think kindlier of elves in future, Commander. They're a stout lot over there in Harrow Ridge. Good luck to them.
Okay.
Your empire is growing with each passing day, Commander. But commerce is lagging behind. We should invest in new and broader trade routes so that our merchants can catch up with our armies.
Our new lands are in need of preachers, Commander, and preachers need paths to get there. Let us therefore build new roads so as to spread the word of the gods.
Trade routes such as they spring from dwarven fantasy will cut through forests, dissect rivers, and destroy habitats, Commander. I'll have none of it.
The state of many thoroughfares is lamentable indeed. Proper roads flanked by guard posts and inns will increase the security and comfort of travelers and, yes, have a positive effect on our economy.
Falstaff is right. Ever tried to cross a swamp with a cannon wagon? Took 50 imps to pull Big Bertha out of the mud.
Yeah, well, we're always making roads. We never maintain them, but we do make roads.
Wonderful! I'll see to it construction works start before the sun has set. And the grandest road of all we'll call Via Draconis, in your honor.
Praise be, for these roads will be a tribute to the Seven. I will order my fellow undead to build a chapel at every 7th milestone.
To scar the Green Mother's skin with yet more streaks of cold stone is unconscionable, Commander. Every bird and beast will bedamn your name.
Perfect. But let's have lizards man the guard posts and dwarves run the inns. Having it the other way around would see us drunken sentinels and all too stern barkeeps.
Good. I can picture it now. 100 miles of dynamite and boom! Instant Holloway. Engineering at its best.
Oh, that's right. What is my... -2 luck. Okay. Slay elves, lizards, slay undead. General kills them all. Edmund strikes again. Let's see. Toppling tower. Destroy a wizard tower in an enemy country. Okay, I think almost most of the Pollux stuff will go. So it means I can get through turns. I want to get to like turn 80. That by then I should have enough cards. I want to get an in card if I can. Okay, So this is a time where I go through turns really fast. To hopefully get to like turn... Yeah, I want to get to at least turn 50, but if I can, I want to get to turn 100. Okay, I got 100 cards. I want to try and work my way to close to 200 cards, which I should be able to get there by turn 60. Actually, I'm going to have a look. Build a factory. Damn. Emporium, free one of... I guess I could build an Emporium. Tavern, Academy, War Factory, Tavern, Parliament. Whoops. Okay. Diplomacy, sabotage. Guessing diplomacy is an acquisition card, isn't it? Factory, gold mine. That's what I want. Yes! That's what I wanted. Yay! Okay, and... So what do I want? Do I want a strategy card? I think I got plenty of strategy cards. What I need is play card. Is another tavern. There we go. Oh, he's attacking. He's attacking. To battle. Edmund, take care of this with your brilliant reptile mind. Yes. Oh, wait a second. Anything to buy? Nope. Okay, he's attacking. Okay, maybe I want strategy cards. Build a parliament. Okay, that's good. That was the right choice. It was the right choice, Lavix. It was the right choice. Let's see if I can buy any cards. Nothing worthwhile. Oops, forgot to check the Emporium. Whoops. Oh, shit! That was stupid of me. Okay. Ooh. No. Fuck it.
the grave be their destiny. Let's get this dance of death started. It'll be built in a jiffy. Construction underway, Commander. Construction in progress. That's impossible, Commander. Not enough recruits to turn into a dragon, Commander. Mortar turret completed. Recruitment citadel completed.
To the Raven! Assholes. How dare they attack me? Build a tavern. Buy that. Buy that. Oopsie. Need to buy that too. Okay. Buy Emporium. No. Oh. Ooh, vortex card. Okay. Emporium. That will be helpful later on. Okay, and armor. Nothing interesting there. Got a tavern, that's going to be handy later on. Okay, I'm getting close to 60. I might go to 75 turns, just so I can get to 200 cards. The Patriarch, that is good. Oh, what's that? Gold mine? That's good. Not having to pay for a gold mine is generally pretty good. It's pretty good. There we go. Yeah, 75, I should have enough cards. Okay. Oh, more revenue. Damn it. Look at all them juicy cards. Good. Emporium. This is tower. Good. Okay. 10 more turns and I'm going to take on this guy. Okay. Oh wait, no. Fuck it. More armors. Do. Excellent. An extra Emporium, that is always good. Devastators. Okay. Yes, imp fighters. That's what I want. Okay, 5 more turns and then I shall conquer this land. And nothing. So, I guess a couple more. Always fucking Zeppelin. This shittiest fucking unit. You always get a lot of cards for them. Three more turns. Okay. Okay, time to take on this, oops, son of a bitch. There we go. You can't do it. Okay. All out assault from every angle. Let's do this. Oh, cool. Okay, let's see. Infighter. Devastator. Hunter. I want subversion. There we go. Edmund shall be my battle master. Good.
And so it came to pass that the Dragon Prince was initiated in the ways of war, and caught the attention of his siblings. Whereas the prince had been but a flea in his half-brother Carthan Axehand's coat, the dread Decapitator now took full notice of what turned out to be a dragon, and so in turn did the others. Yes, it was in the heartland of Rivellon that the war would be decided between the last of Sigurd's children. Carthan remained a threat, as did his sister Sybil the Silent, who had cut out her own tongue a long time ago to stop the voices in her head from babbling. And then there was Farran the Fleshless, who was convinced he wasn't human at all, but rather an undead, which he would demonstrate by slicing the flesh from his body. Such was the crazed company the Dragon Prince would have to fight. Such were the terrors he would have to overcome. And the way he did so is still studied by all strategists in Rivellon today. I have news for you, Commander. Great, grave, or gratifying, I'll leave its interpretation to you. The fact of the matter is your victories have gone far from unnoticed. That much you knew. But they have also gone a long way toward uniting a shattered realm. It has therefore been announced that you are to marry, for that will bolster the populace's spirit and cement your power as Emperor. Soon the finest princesses in the land will be here, bidding for your hand in marriage.
Well, this is going to be fun.
I dare say it will. But do not please take this matter lightly, Commander. Of course, I hope your wife shall turn out to be a charming girl indeed. But this, above all, is a political bond, meant to strengthen the ties between you and the faction she belongs to. Love, I'm sorry to say, has very little to do with it. But of course, I may be proven wrong. Perhaps it is even best that I had.
Even though it's Spanish we are talking about.
Very well, Commander. And while you fantasize about pretty princesses, I'll continue my studies. Grumio may find his inspiration in dreams, but I'll stick to books, thank you very much. A wizard likes his nose between the pages, rather than his head in the clouds.
Ah, Henry. How his vagaries amuse me. A woman that rejects him must therefore not be interested in men, so goes his logic. As if one can blame any woman romanced by that buffoon to abstain from men forever.
Okay, let's save. Okay. Gov 2. Resume.
You know I don't hold a high opinion of men in general, Commander.
Of course you don't,
But
Miss
Henry
Andress.
does go out of his way to reaffirm what some would call my prejudices. I'm glad Scarlet saw the light and kicked him out of her bed. Even a girl as frivolous as her can do infinitely better.
What the hell is the matter with Scarlet? Here we're having some extracurricular horizontal recreation, and suddenly she bails on me. I tell you, she must have knocked her head against the door and started liking girls all of a sudden. No woman denies herself my affections from one moment to the next.
God.
Damn that loudmouth, Henry. I'll emasculate him with a pair of pincers if he doesn't hold his tongue. We've been having a bit of fun, you know. Casual-like, but now I told him that the fun's over, he's telling everyone I must be into girls all of a sudden because that's the only explanation for rejecting a true blue man like him. Filthy... How dare he? How? But... Oh, fudge, what's the use? Why would I stand here and pretend before the dragon, the ruler of worlds? Never have I said this to anyone, Commander. But it is true. I am a lesbian. There. The die has been cast. When I was 16, you see, I first fell in love with another girl. But when my parents found out, they were furious. Threatened to disown me and sent me to military school. They vowed that if I'd show any sign of being attracted to another girl ever again, they'd never more show me kindness or affection. That is the secret I've lived with ever since. I force myself to sleep with men, but it is all a farce. A hollow way of ever so shallowly satisfying hidden, unacknowledged needs. I was forced to live a life of lies, and believe me, I can handle it, but I can't bear to have my real nature dangled in front of me as a means of mockery.
Well, Australian government is cucked, so just go ahead, be gay.
Thank you, Commander. To have your support means a great deal to me. More than you can imagine. Perhaps one day I'll be free. Free to be who I am.
Never hesitate to seek my counsel, Dragon Knight. We too shall unite dragons' daring with wizards' wisdom.
Okay. Units. 3 transports should be enough. Get them on the transport. Okay, there we go for that. Units. Okay, there we go, there's that done. Any other transports around? Nope. Okay, and done. Okay, army, bombers, shamans. I had some transports. Oh well, shamans are useless.
They are here, Commander. The fairest maidens to be found. Here in the hope you will take their hand in marriage. Gathered aboard are Lady Lohanna of the Elves, Lady Ida of the Dwarves, Lady Camilla of the Lizards, and Lady Ophelia of the Undead. Godspeed, Commander. I wish you the best of luck. Heavens no, we wouldn't want to make a scene. The rejected princesses will be disappointed, and their counselors furious. No, once you have made your choice, inform me of it in confidence, and simply be about your business. I will take care of the rest. That would have been politically inopportune, Commander. Don't tell me you take after Edmund, and dislike anyone who is not of your own species. Any of these princesses will make for a loving wife, and bring you great prosperity. There was an incident. Best not to mention it.
Shopping for a spouse, are we, Commander? I wonder what the return policy on these princesses is. No refund after they've been used?
I envy you, Commander. You 4 women here begging to make her yours. Bloody hell! I wish I were a Dragon Knight.
You dragons sure have a nice time of it, Commander. Who's it gonna be? That elf girl is cute. I mean, you know, not that I've been really looking.
This is all too disgraceful. Parading these women around like prize cattle. Whatever happened to marrying for love? What happened to respect? Outrageous!
Okay, let's save. Gov 2. Okay.
The Seven have graced you, Commander. For today they bring before you Ophelia, daughter of Everking, sovereign of the Skeleton Spire. A more splendid princess is not to be found. Marry her, and the gods themselves will bless your union. Go on, girl. Don't be shy. Answer the dragon.
My lord and emperor, I stand here before you because I was bid to, and thereby was I blessed. I am not worthy of your love, but should you choose to honor me with marriage, I should take it as a sign the Seven still savor my soul, and it will be my unwavering endeavor to earn the trust and affection you would bestow upon me. Grace be unto the gods, and unto you, my sire and king.
Well said, my dear. That settles it, does it not, Commander? How can any man even contemplate the hand of another woman when he has met fair Ophelia?
It's your lucky day, Commander, for I have with me the famed beauty Ida, Princess of Hammerdale. Dwarves have come a-courting her from each part of the realm, clad in solid golden belts, beset with diamonds, wielding axes so sharp they can cleave rock. Bold warriors that alone could face an army, but none has laid claim to that purest of rubies that is her heart.
All right, Falstaff, put a sock in it. I'd rather see you drink than drivel. So unbecoming of a dwarf.
Yes, well, there you have it, Commander. Lady Ida. To her very good health, I say, and your future happiness. I'm sure it'll be a blissful union.
Why, yes, my little dandelion. What woman in her right mind wouldn't want to marry an emperor? 'Tis a right treat that you're not so bad looking either. But power, my lad, that is why we do it. The power of the dragon. Me? I do have a few personal stakes in this as well, though. My father, see, may the plague wither his pecker, is a right old rotter whose company I'm desperate to escape. Put a wedding ring on my finger, and your ship'll be my home. I'm sure we'll get on like two pups a play.
What a strange day this must be for you, Commander. Having to receive princesses who are strangers to you and choose which one of them you would spend your life with. Strange for the princesses themselves, too, Prospera. For they are put on display like cows on the market. And I am not a cow, kind sir. I am Camilla, a princess, rather reluctant to take part in this charade, but willing to do so for the benefit of all lizards. To be perfectly frank, I don't know if I really do. Your Highness, please forgive her, Commander. Nerves, you see. One, there is nothing to forgive, and two, I am calm as a frozen lake, so hold your tongue, Counselor. Now then, let me elaborate. Unlike those other girls I've seen shipped here by their aspiring ambassadors, I am not one who spends her days in palace rooms having her nails tended to. I've studied law, and am now Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of my native land. I am a woman of the world, Commander, knowledgeable of matters of state. A royal marriage such as ours would constitute a political bond, not an amorous one, though perhaps in time a reasonable amount of endearment may bloom. Wonders never cease, do they not? Lizard and dragon. It would be an advantageous union. Think on it, Commander. What ambition I have compels me to hope I will be your cow, Or should I say choice?
Come on, up you stand, back straight, chin high. The commander is here. No, you are not daydreaming, Commander. This is not a mirage that would trick your eyes. This unearthly beauty is real, and her name is Lohana, Princess of all Elves, the fairest fruit ever plucked from our Green Mother's world tree. I'll give you a moment to compose yourself, for not many can gaze upon her and be undaunted by the sight of purity perfected.
The best reason of all. Love. Or so I hope. I have heard of your deeds and seen your portrait. Ever since, I admit I've been quite smitten with you, and when news of impending nuptials reached my dainty ears, I made certain Oberon would move mountains to ensure I'd get a chance to meet you. I know the very idea of love is often met with sardonic laughter in royal circles, where it is derided as a pleasantry that peasants may indulge in, but I would not have it so. Let love be your reason too, O dragon, should you contemplate our union. If not, I think I'd rather not be chosen.
Now, dear, don't put the commander on the spot. He's already head over heels in love with you, no doubt, as are all who have taken but a single look at you. And think of elven interests. We would have the dragon as our closest ally.
Well, let's hit save. Fuck it. Choose. Let's go. Mistress. Okay. Well, I am going to end the stream here. Anybody who's watched it or watches it, put in the comments who you think I can think. I'm leaning towards the undead chick because I need to get my undead things up a much higher. For one, and it will give me better chances with the gods. It'll up my luck. Let's see. Yeah, got enough cards. So yeah, I'll end it here. And yeah, everybody have a good one.